Okay, welcome to Rocket Aquarius style. Let's start off by taking a seat. As you can see, I have gone full yoga with Adrian and I'm joined with Theseus, the lovely doggy. Hopefully he won't be with us for too long. Let's find a comfortable seat. Start to drop into your breath, drop into how you feel. Feeling the expansion in the chest, in the belly. And warming up through the wrists, bringing the hands together. You can still have your eyes closed. You can still be thinking about breathing. Finding the little indents at the bottom of the thumb and the little finger to just give the wrist a little wiggle. Giving the forearms a massage and doing the other side just to get a little bit of blood flow into the hands before we start to put pressure on them. And just noticing how you feel, slowing everything down, taking the arms up and over, maybe stretching side to side, maybe arms around the back of the head, and then we put the hands to the ground and start to work into your cat-cows, into your spinal movements. So you can go forward and back, you can go side to side. Go a little bit slower than me. I appear to have just had a coffee that's kicked in. Taking the cobra rolls, rounding the shoulders forward and sticking your bum out as you go back. And arching the back forward and rounding as you come back, if that's of interest. Just getting a little bit of rhythm into your body, into your spine. Before we make our way into downward facing dog. So active through the hands, through the fingers. Walking the feet out if that's there for you. So slightly different if you've read the description for our rocket. We do the slower versions and then we do vinyasa krama, which is one breath, one movement. So in step our feet together, first of all, this is still a warm-up section. Relaxing the hamstrings, maybe giving yourself a hug or a little shake. Finding the space in the back of your body before rolling all the way up. Taking the arms overhead, holding onto the elbows, reaching over to one side, little bounces, and then a hold and stretch. Push your hips, then the other direction, little bounces, hold and stretch, push your hips. And we come to the top of the mat. So take your gesture in Tadasana, hands together, hands apart, whatever works for you. And start to really find the Ujjayi breath, really find the rhythm to what you're doing, how you're feeling, what's going on. And we take a breath in, we lift up. Breath out, we fold. Breath in, looking forward. Stepping or jumping back to plank. Lowering down. Lifting on up. Downward facing dog when you're ready. Or child's pose, or spinal movements, whatever is working for you. So I was trying to find a little rhythm with the breath. When I was doing this, I was trying really hard to take 5 breaths in each pause. So maybe you got that, maybe it's more or less. We step or jump top of the mat and fold. Let your head go towards your knees when you fold. Then roll all the way up. Tadasana, you are there. We go again, breath in, lift up. Breath out, we fold. Breath in, looking forward, putting the hands on the floor onto the toes if it's there, stepping or jumping back into plank. Vinyasa, downward facing dog when you're ready. Please feel free to go faster or slower. You know, this part of the sequence just aids to warm up. We always start with 3 good A's, at least 3. And then after that, it could be a lot more fun. Step or jump top of the mat. Unless you love A's, in which case this is the best part. Rolling all the way up, tucking in your trousers. Tadasana, we're there. Very cool. We go back down, hands to the ground. Breath in, we look forwards. Toe taps if you want, step or jump back. Vinyasa, downward facing dog. So in these moments in between, we really try to find a steady breath. It doesn't matter how many you're doing, as long as it's a steady rhythm that's working for you. Bend your knees, press back, look forward, and we step or jump, top of the mat, fold. Inhale all the way up. Tadasana, you're there. So we should be moving on to bees, but with a slow count. So we find Utkatasana, chair pose. Press into the heels but spread through the toes. This will make sure the muscles around the knees are super active. Lift the belly off the thighs and close the ribs by pressing your armpits forward. We're still here. Time under tension before we break out and dance. As we fold Uttanasana, this is your forward fold. Although we've already done a few of these, we stay for an extra breath or two. Really seeing if we can lift up the hips and get the hands on the floor, dropping the chin. So imagine the nose is coming between the knees. When you're ready, stepping or jumping back into plank. So holding your high plank. I feel like I tried to do 5 breaths, but we'll see how it goes. So find that inhale, exhale, steady rhythm. Because next up we're holding low plank. You can absolutely put the knees on the floor. So you bring your chest forward slightly in traditional alignment. Your elbows are over your wrists. That's a lot. So you just put your elbows wherever you're doing it. Then breath in, we push up into our back bend. Couple of breaths in our back bend. You can move the neck, move the shoulders. It does not have to be upward dog. You can put your thighs down if this is you, but make sure you active through the feet. Downward facing dog. So we're moving to warrior 1 or high lunge, whatever's better for you. Be active through the feet, be active in the ground. Maybe the gaze is up towards the ceiling. Maybe you bring your hands in front of you and you're looking at your thumbs. Plenty of options. Having a little wiggle around. Then we take our vinyasa, however you want to, nice and slow, nice and controlled, downward facing dog. So we come into left side, warrior 1 or high lunge. Nice, trying to send the knee and the hips forward so we're not arching into the back too much. Knee tracks over the ankle, if not ever so slightly behind it. Stopping us from compressing in the front of the knee. Super breathy, super strong. Already we take hands to the ground, vinyasa. Downward facing dog. We're taking a couple of breaths here to reset, to reground. Maybe moving up and down onto the toes if that feels good. Sometimes I like that, gives me a deeper stretch in the calves. Before stepping or jumping to the top of the mat, we fold. Let's take a inhale into our chair. Utkatasana, just a couple of extra breaths here. Making it feel easy. Before coming up into Tadasana. Okay, so tucking in if we need to, moving on to the next part. Inhale, Utkatasana, exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, we look forward, step or jump back into plank vinyasa. It's fast, we're breaking out of it. We bring warrior 1 or high lunge to the top of the mat with the right leg. Inhale. Exhale, you vinyasa however you want. You can put the handstand hops in if you want. I haven't today, but if that's you, go for it. Downward facing dog, left side, warrior 1 or high lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Vinyasa, you're gone. Well, back into downward facing dog. Feel free to do child's pose if it's preferred, or anything else that feels right now. Building up the heat, building up the energy in the body. Then when you're ready, bend knees, press back, look forward, step or jump, top of the mat. Oof, little fall from me, we fold. Inhale, find your chair. Tadasana, we're there. So, a lot of outfit adjustments today before we take the 3 and 3, so let's get into it. Find your chair, squeeze your knees, inhale 1. Exhale 1, active in the top bum muscles, inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. We transition. Coming onto the toes if that's you. Keep the ankles squeezed together. If it is, arms can come behind you. You can bring them into prayer, or you can take them out in front of you. That way I would consider the hardest one. And when you're ready, bend your knees, split them, and pop the knees onto the backs of the arms. You can take yogi squat if you want to. Remember, this is just a hamstring, girl. Take your time. There is a transition into a headstand if you want to. Tuck the chin, squeeze the elbows together as you push up. It helps activate the muscles that you need to control it. Then coming back halfway down and see if you can power back into plank from there. Option to ignore that shit and do something else. So we're in our downward facing dog. Reground, reset. Then when you're ready, we lift the right leg up, super active. We're going to put the right knee on the back of the right arm. We're going to hold for an extra couple of breaths. Big squeeze. If it doesn't touch, that's fine. There's also an optional arm balance to drop onto. Mini tutorial in the mandala section if you want to look. Otherwise, we're back up. Right knee to left arm, keep it there. Or I'm going for the arm balance today, so I've got to sneak my leg forward because, as you know, it's short. Side crow is available. You don't have to split the legs or ignore all of that. Keep the knee on the arm. Welcome back, Theseus. Then right leg goes all the way up. We bring the knee to the nose, shoulders over wrists, drop the head, lick the knee. I really could drop my head more here. Critical. Put it down, warrior one or high lunge. We're coming up. So we ground through the feet. And then when we're ready, that's when we lift. So get the grounds in first. Opening into warrior two, whizzing through that one a little bit just because we've done a lot of it already. So see if you can pull the mat apart with your feet and then squeeze it back together so you find this medium point where everything is active. We straighten the legs, step the back foot in, and we move into Trikonasana, into triangle. You can take first two fingers around big toes if that's you. You can pull up the big toes. See if you can keep making space on the underside of the body. I'm reaching up towards the ceiling. Your head doesn't have to look up. You can look any direction, but choose. We take hands to the ground, step the back foot forward a little bit more. We move into twisty triangle. So we want to think about the energy coming out of our butt. So lifting up through the thighs. A little twist. You can bring your hand closer to your foot or further away or on a block. And open the chest, shoulders back, but keep the hands where you can see them. Stepping back, side angle. So we've got warrior two alignment, maybe a bit deeper. You can stay in side angle with the forearm to thigh or the hand to the floor, or you can go for the bind. Now, if you're going for the bind, we're arm balancing. Step the back foot in, come onto the toes, push down through the left foot, down, up. We lift the leg. You're welcome to also step forward and just find tree pose if that's better. Tree is a great balance. So keeping the thigh and the body together as you move back down. Imagine there was one thing. We find our way back into side angle. Then when we're ready, lifting up and we find twist. So left elbow to the outside of right thigh. Keep the knee down or step the knee up if that's you. Keep rolling the shoulders back so the rotation comes from above the belly button. And if you lift the bottom thigh, it's going to help your balance. So Ekapada transition if you want to, knee onto the arm. Option 1, knee down push-up. Option 2, knee off push-up. Option 3, see if you can pick it up. That's a hamstring vinyasa. We're gone. So we're into one breath, one movement. So prep it up, and then we go on the right again. Right leg goes up, right knee, right arm. Right leg goes up, right knee, left arm. We're just dancing. Right knee goes up, right knee to nose, and we put it down. Warrior 1 or high lunge, breath in. Breath out, warrior 2. We squeeze to straighten, find the triangle. Exhale, you're there. We take the hand to the ground, adjust the feet, and we exhale into twisty triangle. We rock the weight forward and back, and we find our way into side angle. We then drop the back knee, lift the hands up, and we move into our twist. Now from the twist, you have the option to vinyasa as we did before, or take the hands to the side of the right thigh, scoot right leg over. You've got a shelf to do your side crow. I've got a bit jazzy and switched it. You're welcome to pause that, go back and try it again, or just to ignore it because it's a lot. So we've got forearms, elbows to the ground. I was clearly feeling very energetic on this day. So little hops up for your pinches. You do not have to make a different shape with your legs. You could do a headstand. But also I find when I lock my knees in this way, I get this little bit of extra grip that feels really cool. So it helps with the extra center of gravity. You choose if that's for you. But we're just visiting, so we move on. We're on our way down. Little child's pose just to reset yourself. Clearly I've got a bit keen there. So taking a few moments between sides just to figure out what we're doing, where we're going. And then we're back up into downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And we'll lift the left leg, left knee, left tricep, squeezy, squeezy, hold on to it. The arm balance is there if you're interested. Otherwise, back up. Left knee to left side. I always hop between these because I don't feel like I can get quite the twist, but I can do the arm balance. So if you've got to hop into it, I support you and I feel you. Nice. Left leg goes back up. We take left knee to nose, big squeeze. Oh no, we're going straight into it. Warrior one or high lunge, please feel free to hold on to the knee to nose if you want to, but I imagine we're all okay moving on. So we find warrior two. We've got the under thigh muscle that we use to move the knee backwards a little bit, keeps it safe. So remember to articulate through that muscle. Then we squeeze to straighten when we're ready. Move into triangle. You can take hold of the big toe. You can pull the toes up, but keep pulling shoulders back, hips forward. So that way we find the middle way. Always the middle. Nice. We adjust into twisty triangle. So a lot of the time my hand doesn't come anywhere near the floor. I was clearly having a good day. So if your hand isn't on there, if you've got a book, a block, you can even lean on the windowsill and have a little bit of a pushback because it doesn't suit all body shapes. A lot of the time we're not feeling it, and that's fine. We're stepping back into side angle here, so forearm to thigh or hand to foot. This time I'm going to do the balance without the bind. Well, I think I am anyway. No, I'm going to do a bind. So if you're not doing a bind, you're welcome to step the back foot forward without it, and you come up to standing, holding onto your shin or to your thigh, and you find tree pose. If you do have the bind, there we go. Keep that connection between arm and thigh, because that lock-in will help you. We step back softly into side angle. Then we'll drop the right knee, and we find our twist. Right elbow to the outside of left thigh. Open the chest, lift the back knee. If that's you. If you're lifting the right knee, stay really active through it. Then when we're ready, we take the hand to the inside of the left thigh. Once again, you've got options for the push-up or the arm balance. Use your feet if you're in the arm balance. It helps guide your legs. You are in control of this the whole time. So we're back into downward facing dog, and we're ready to do one breath, one movement. So we just dance it here. It's all cool. So prepping left leg up, left knee, left tricep. Left leg up, left knee right. Left leg up, left knee to nose, little squeeze. Pop it down. Warrior one or high lunge, we're up. Warrior two, we're out. Setting up for the triangle, we're up. We drop into it, we're out. Adjusting the feet for twisty triangle. Then lifting the arm. Moving slightly forward and back for the side angle. Exhale, you're there. Finding your way with the knee to the ground into your twist. We're in. Vinyasing out of this twist in the regular way, or keeping your knee towards the right, left knee, right arm essential, then dropping onto it. You don't have to pick your back leg up in the beginning, just keep dropping and seeing what happens. Vinyasa, we're out. So we've got pinches again. Dolphin pose is great for this. Get the forearm elbows to the floor. Keep squeezing the elbows together. Trying one leg kick. And maybe you try the leg you don't always try. That's often, yeah, easier without you even knowing. Well, I say often it is, sometimes it is. You might realize that you've been a left-legged person all along. Stay with it, play with the shapes, push into the ground, and then when you're ready, we vinyasa out or straight to downward dog. I think I opt for popping my head on the floor, that's it, and lifting onto the top of my head, chin into chest, little rabbit pose, holding on the back of my thighs, just to release the shoulders after all that arm work. So you have two ways of moving into our folds here. We're in downward dog. You can either walk your hands back in the way that we know, or you can come into this kind of push up to push all the way back there, which does feel utterly terrifying, but give it a go if that's you. I was in for it that day. First two fingers under big toes, and we're folding, pull down. Then we'll lift the chest, slide the hands underneath the feet, rock the way into the toes, really stretch the spine out of the body first before dropping yourself down. So then when we're ready, coming up halfway, weight definitely into the toes. Squeeze the inside of your butt and we're going to take a flat back. So we're on the toes in this position already. Then pushing the hips forward to find a stand. San Francisco twinkle toes. So burrowing forward, I'm basically stomping forward, groin first. Hopefully you'll do it nicer than that. Maybe you won't. Maybe you lean into that. Then we come down in Prasarita Padadhanasana. So toes looking at each other, breath in, chest up. Breath outward into our fold. Straighten the legs once you get to the floor because it will make it easier if you want to at all. So today I'm opting to hold on to the ankles and pull my chest down and between my thighs, so there's length there. You can always go upside down if you know that version. First two fingers underneath big toes is also an option here, as is just a dangle any way you want. We come halfway up, hold onto the wrists or the elbows or palms together, and then we come down into this expression of our fold. Now you're welcome to interlace the hands and shoulders shimmy all the way over. I like to change the cross of the fingers when I'm there a couple of times. But if that's not working for you, then hold on to your elbows and just keep pulling your shoulders back. It works the same. Chin really tucks into chest for a nice release there. We take the hands down. Walk the feet wide into middle split. Face the camera, I'm clearly not feeling that. So, yeah, you can keep your feet on the floor. I don't mind if you turn your toes up if that feels better. Today I've decided to keep it quite chill in my middle split. So my feet are on the floor. I'm not going into the full expression. I'm turning to any direction. Put the back knee down. You've got a low lunge, a half split, a full split with the block underneath your thigh, or a full split. Now I'm demonstrating if you've got your knee turned out to the side, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to question that. A lot of teachers will ask you to turn your toes under and bring your back hip forward. I'm working on that today. It's there if you choose it. And then I'm working into a little twist here too. You can do this from any of the half split or low lunge positions. It feels nice through the middle of the back. Then we move through our middle split again. Because why do it once when you can do it all of the time? Then we're going to walk ourselves to the other side. We've got low lunge, half split, full split with the block, or full split once again, knee turned out or knee turned under. All options welcome. And you can turn this into a little twist over the front leg. I do feel like that's a very useful place to be for the spine, for the hips. But if it's too much, because there's a lot happening here, don't worry about it. You can fold into that if you're enjoying it. Then coming back through the middle, you go straight to sit in your V or bring your legs a little bit closer together. Hands through the legs, chest up, squeeze the thighs on the arms, just like you did in your side angle. Feet off, bum squeeze, wee, sliding down. That's enough of that, right? We're going to reach over to, I'm reaching towards my left leg, so my right leg, and we're going to bring the left leg in, holding onto the ankle. If you want to, you don't have to. You can hold onto the foot if that's there, you don't have to. I always try to rotate the top shoulder back so I can send my chest up a little bit higher, getting that nice open feeling. We've then got the right shin coming in, so we're in a little bit of a Janu shape, and we're holding onto the left leg. So you can do the little rock the baby thing. You can start to wrap around the shin or underneath it. You can pull the knee behind you, take a little twist here. For some people that's nicer, or even the hamstring stretch. Or you got your compass, taking your left arm underneath your left thigh. Hold onto your foot. The thigh and arm pressure again. Maybe it lifts up a little, maybe it's a lot. You can sit back into it. If this isn't for you, take one of the options that we did first. If you want the arm balance, knee comes higher than the elbow, put the hand on the floor, squeeze, cross the ankles, or do the harder way. Bring the hand in closer to you. We go down and up. The closer your hand is, the easier it is. And of course, if you're there, push your feet out to the side so they squeeze around your left arm and you have crazy 8. Shake your wrists out and do the other side. I'm blasting through this today, guys. So bring your left leg in. Obvious, if you want to, you can hold onto right foot or reach for right foot. Keep leaning back. And that brings you some openness, and make sure you push the left bum cheek into the ground as you lean. So we can now bring the right leg in. You can even do big toe to nose, or pretend it's a phone if you've got some kids hanging around, because kids love the foot phone. Then taking the arm to the back of the thigh, that little down up pressure. So you can move it up and down a couple of times or go straight in. And see if you can be unlike me and bring your chin away from your chest. I don't know why I'm so squishy in there, but you do you, huns. Knee to the back of the arm, big squeeze. Maybe you try the arm balance, inside of bum squeezes, cross the ankles. I try a push up here and fall on my face. Yep, haven't done those for a while, but it's there if you want to try it. Then we're back into our V. So when I come through the middle, you can absolutely bend your knees or sit on a block. We're trying to bring the center of the chest forward. So we move forward with a straight-ish spine. Toes curl up if you want to. But you don't need to think about like ballerina feet where the toes are turned out. You can take hands to thighs or to ankles or to shins. It's not usually my favorite. It feels a bit scary, but you might like it with the pressure. Then we're coming up, bringing our legs a little bit closer to us. Don't know why I chose to do this, but we are where we are. So squeeze the knees, curl the toes. Then we lift the legs up for 1. For 2, use the inside of the bum. For 3, if they're not coming up, keep imagining they will, because they will. For 4, for 5, I feel like we hold at the top. 3, 2, 1. You can keep them there if you want to. And then try one of the pickups, using the inner thighs and the bum muscles. I clearly didn't decide to do that anymore. Navasana, cross at the ankles, pick anything up. Vinyasa, we are gone. Bit fast, but you can tell the bits I don't like, can't you? So little pickups, as Larry Schultz at Create the Rocket says, you know you're getting stronger when your bum comes off the floor. There's handstand hops or a little jump to bring you back to the top of your mat if you want it. Otherwise you're just walking there, which is perfectly reasonable. I'm going to roll all the way up. Shake your hands out. Give yourself a little wriggle. Remember, we are animals that can use iPhones. So take a moment just to... Then we'll bring the left knee into the chest. Either hold onto the shin, the big toe, or the heel. You can extend. There's that push-pull happening through the foot. And we're really reaching up out the right side. You can take the left leg out to the left side if you want to, holding on to whatever you're holding on. Looking towards the right thumb if that's you, and we're even going off balance. I quite like that. And coming back through the middle. Swapping, so we're holding opposite shin or opposite foot. Little thigh squeeze will help. Relax the shoulders. Now I'm going to keep the body exactly facing this way. Let go of the leg, swing it all the way up, through and back, reach your body away, and we find half moon. So I bend my knee to get to the floor. I'm messing with this notion of curling my toes and trying to look towards my back foot to test my balance and to encourage a little bit of hip flexor core strength. You don't have to do this because it is a bit wobbly. Then we drop The hip bone knee to the floor, we take opposite hand off, we're in our twist. And from here, standing split, we fold. I've got eyes on my left big toe, and I'm holding onto my ankle. Maybe that's for you as well, but the eyes and the big toe help. And we drop the right foot, take the bum all the way down so it's on the inside of the heel slowly. If this is not cool for your knee on the right side, please move it into a Janu shape, just flip it the other way. But otherwise, we're crawling forward either over a bent knee or a straight leg over the left side. And coming up, as I said, you can change the position of the knee if you want to. We can take the left leg, either put it on the inside of the right thigh for your twist or half lotus it. So it gets into the hip crease, we walk the backhand around, maybe holding onto the toe or to the elbow. Whatever you do, we're using the right hand to really twist into the left side. So it's a little fulcrumy pivot situation. Clearly that didn't feel good, so I moved out of it. Hip cramp. So you move out of it if you need to, otherwise sitting nice and tall. Every inhale is a spiral coming up through the base of your spine, and every exhale we relax the shoulders a little bit more. And come through the middle, right leg goes up and we pulse it up, down. For 4, you can put your hands behind you. For 3, make sure there's no wall behind you. For 2, for 1, we're going to take a little roll back, step onto the right, then the left, or left then right, kick the leg up, standing split, step them back together. Doesn't matter which leg you do that, just get up however you do. Tadasana, little shake, little shimmy, little dance. It's the sound of Theseus sleeping behind me. So we step onto the left leg, lift the right, we're holding big toe, we're holding heel, or we're holding knee, whatever you want. Extend it out in front of you, push, pull. And then we go to the side. If you're looking at the thumb, bring it slightly in front of you so you're on the diagonal. Sometimes we take it too far back and we fall. Although sometimes we just fall, which is clearly what's happening here. So bringing the right leg back through. We're twisting. Squeeze the thighs together, you got this. We're going to keep the body exactly where it is. We're going to reach it up and out as we take right leg all the way back behind us. Half moon. Once again, you're welcome to mess with that idea of curling the toes and bring the foot forward so you can find the gaze. Fingertips to the ground, right knee rolls to the floor, left arm off. Twisty. Half moon. Hands to ground. We come into our standing split. And drop the back foot. So, left knee to left knee. Right knee to the ground. Sorry, I think. Whatever you didn't do before. And then we're reaching forward. Obviously, you can change the Janu shape if you want to. Folding along the leg however you wish. There's a wrist bind if you know it. Then we bring the foot in either into our bind. So I can't bind that side. So I hold on to my elbow. But you're also welcome to bring your opposite hand to your thigh and twist. Relax your shoulders. A little tilt in the pelvis under will also help. And coming through the middle, oh, it's left leg up, down, up, down, up, down. A little bit of Pilates for your core. Rolling up and over, stepping onto the ground. Whatever leg comes up, it comes up. And we fold. Very cool. Let's roll all the way up. Tadasana. So going to come into some more closing, grounding, lowering down sequences here. I think. We take a breath in, lift up. Breath in, come down. Inhale, looking forward, step or jump back. Vinyasa or straight to downward dog. So yeah, we're all to the floor now. Oh, it's back bends. Sorry guys. We're in a plank and we're laying down. So, 4 in 1. Reach your fingertips back behind you, tops of the toes come into the ground, crutch the floor. Blow everything out through the mouth, and we lift up just the chest. Use your hands to pull you back. Now you can stay here if you feel it, squeeze the thighs, just the feet. Stay there, or if you feel it, hands off. Maybe an extra rib off. If you feel it, bring your hands to the forward for your big finish. 3, 2, 1. And scene, fold them down. We're done. Breath in and out through the mouth. Relax onto the floor. Those back bends are strong when we do them on the belly, but the release that we get from them is super cool. So you can do the same thing again, or bring your feet and your hands together. Hold the inside or the outside, whatever's good. Blow everything out through the mouth, then push your feet back and then up. Seating balance right on the tip of the hip bones. If you've got pointy bones or things there that are a bit sensitive, put a blanket underneath you. Get comfy. We're going to let go, and we're going to leave everything where it is, like we're skydiving. So use your hamstrings, use your feet. Take your hands underneath you, push on up, so you can get the toes to tap the back of the head, like when you were a kid. And then we roll on down. It's not the nicest bit, but it is a bit. So let everything decompress and deflate. Then when we're ready, we're lifting up, pressing back, and bringing our knees to the ground. So being careful with our lower back when we do this. So we're moving into Strasana, our camel pose. You have your hands to your bum, fingers up or down. You can have your hands to the backs of your thighs, dropping to the knees if you want to, using the quad and hamstring strength to start to take you back a little bit further. It's one of my personal preferred variations because I feel like I have a little bit more support through the back. But feel free to not do that. I quite like it. Come on up, bum to heels, you're out. Then when we're ready, we bring our knees into our chest, jump back, vinyasa. Downward facing dog. So we step or jump through to seated. Then we'll bring the right knee in. Heel in close, scoop and lift everything to the other side of the right thigh. You can hold underneath the right thigh if that's more you. You can bring your arm around the front of the thigh, the spine's available. Use the left hand as a second spine to really lift up, but the shoulder is down. Do the other side when you're ready. Super tall. Come through the middle. Navasana. Little crosses of the legs, as Pilates is a staple of Rocket. I just skip it a lot, but not today for you friends. So we keep going for 3, for 2, for 1. Cross at the ankles, knees into arms. Pick anything up, squeeze your bums, step or jump back. Long arms, you can wiggle all the way through. Short arms, we have an excuse. So, last call for inversions if you want a handstand hop or a headstand. I'm clearly feeling a bit bouncy today. Oh. I'm out. So we're coming through onto our backs. You can take soles of the feet together, knees open like the pages of a book. Welcome back, Theseus. Hands to belly if that's you. And you can stay there, or happy baby with the dog sniffing your butt is also welcome. Connecting the lower back into the ground, it really does help to release and lengthen. And you can straighten one leg, you can wiggle one side or the other. Maybe taking the hands through and taking the toes to the head. Leg behind head is surprisingly comfortable, at least the preparation is for it. So if you have that, we'll go over it on another video, but it's there. Just find something very chill. So you got your shoulder stand sequence. If you want it, you can come back into Happy Baby if you'd like to. I've chosen today to go Halasana first, so a very chilled Halasana. So it starts quite yin-y. Not thinking too much about the pressing back or the pressing forward. Getting a release in the back of the neck and the spine after all the big back bending. And bringing the feet in and eventually reaching them up to shoulder stand. You can, of course, have the hands on the floor, on the lower back. You can make leg movements, be playful, be creative. If you're worried that that's not for you, then don't. And just see, how does your body feel? Then you can move into embryo pose, knees to the outside of ears, squeezing the arms around the back, or simply just let the legs drop over the head again before we roll down piece by piece, vertebra by vertebra, moving into Matsahasana, your sexy fish pose. So we're on the elbows, chest up, drop the head. And the invitation here is to take a few good breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. To really release the throat. You're of course welcome to pick the feet up if that's you. And moving down into a space where you can take your Shavasana. Maybe taking a big breath in as you breathe out, leaning back into your bones, really leaning into the floor. So allowing all the good stuff that you just did to percolate in your body, letting all your flavors unfold. I'm going to leave you here to Shavasana for as long as you wish. Thank you for practicing with me today. I really appreciate you. I hope to see you back here another time. Lots of love.